Afternoon. How are we all doing? Happy Monday afternoon. JC, Fetch, Gregors, Lumo, Crom, David, Evil, how are we doing? All doing well. Hopefully this morning was good. Afternoon, Peter. So I've just got out of the Evil. Afternoon. I think I just said that one. Can't remember. Brain's gone. Already forgotten what I said. Literally less than 5 seconds ago. Just a quick recap on the morning. Hedged on the DAX and the FTSE this morning. Just got out of both. Pen. Come on, pen. Thank you. So yeah, just got out of both. Well, not just got out of both. I got out of the FTSE about 25 minutes ago or so, and literally just as I was coming on, I just got out of the DAX. So profit on both this morning. Original target I had on these was down towards ADR, and it was the low here. And we basically tapped into that low, as you can see. We bounced off this morning. Then we tapped into that low. We put a whacking great bullish engulfing. So I gave it 5 minutes and waited to see what the next candle was, which was bullish. So I exited the shorts because it looked like we were bouncing here because we'd sold off 4 hours basically. So, so I got out of that one. This one, I took the double bottom bounce, which was there, basically off the propulsion gap. So we did the gap fill this morning. We rejected that level. We rejected it again. And obviously we've rejected it for the third time and bounced. So just got out of that. So yeah, not bad on the DAX this morning. Not great on either, but out. No news today. Totally flat. Nothing to look at whatsoever. Big week this week for inflation, for unemployment, interest rates, one or the other. It's always a good week for something. So Bank of Japan interest rate tomorrow, plus press conference tomorrow morning. So that'll be before we come on. We got the Canadian interest rate on Wednesday, and on Thursday we've got the Euro interest rate, and scattered in between that we've got PMIs, and we've got the CPI for New Zealand dollar overnight tomorrow night as well. Nothing much on the Friday. We've just got PCE. So it's we've got GDP as well, which is the advanced GDP and unemployment for the US on Thursday. But basically it's all about interest rates this week. So we've got 3 interest rates, all forecast to remain as they are, which we probably will find. The Bank of Japan is the only not so sure. They could well just stick a 0.0 in there just to shock the market, but I doubt it. You never know. This morning's news, not a lot. This is where we were this morning. Nothing exciting. We've had Kishida talking this morning, and Shindo, but no, nothing exciting said. So it'll all be tomorrow morning. So no news today. So there's no news forecast. There's no news happened. Interest change is 0. Inflation's quiet. Nothing's happening. So there you go. So I'm going to trade on this account today, the US indices, because I've closed out my other Darwin X account. If you were here in the live room this morning, the US index account with Darwin X, I've shut that because I'm having troubles with margin, basically. I can't get enough margin on. So I've shut that account. I emptied it over the week. Well, I've put a request in to empty it over the weekend. So I've decided, because I've still got money in this account, so I'm just going to trade the NASDAQ, S&P, and the Dow here today. And see where we go. But I'm planning on dropping the FTSE, because I'm just going to trade the DAX into the day, into the end of session for the US, basically. And I might drop the Dow. So I think I'm going to focus on the S&P, the NASDAQ, and the DAX. And probably keep it in Darwin X. I haven't decided whether I'm going to keep it in Darwin X yet, or whether I'm going to stick it in back into Robo Forex. So I'm undecided. I'm in thinking mode at the moment. 2 minutes to the open. ADRs and stuff today, not a lot. Haven't managed to bank anything yesterday. 0.5% banked on H1M5 on Friday, 1.1% or 1.2% banked on ADR reversals on Friday, and 0.3% banked on Friday for H1 hedging. Also banked 0.5% today. Got another 0.3 on the pound CAD. I'm looking to TP up at the top there. Nothing much else to bank there. So ADRs today, we've only had the one, which is the New Zealand dollar yen, and that literally tapped 100% ADR and boing, straight up. So that's been going sideways for 4 days now. So well, this is day 4 of going sideways. So that tight accumulation, rally, drop, rally, drop, rally, drop. Not going anywhere, and we're not likely to go anywhere on any yen pairs because it's the interest rate numbers tomorrow. So nobody in their right mind is going to dump money into the market today. So you had an ADR reversal there, M5. You haven't got in. You couldn't have got into this today. Reversal alerts all the way up there. So you'd have to have taken a price action, in which case that was your confirmation candle. So you could maybe trade it up into the highs, but not any good setups today. No news. And we've got interest rates coming out, so no one's going to be dumping money into the market. RSIs are flat. We had one this morning on the CAD Swiss. We had an RSI extension on the hourly, which is rolled out now. And we've got an H4 on the CAD Swiss still. Other than that, that's it. Everything's starting to either unravel or starting to flatten out. So yeah, not a lot going on anywhere. Why are we surprised? I don't know. Okay, market's open. We're not taking any trades. Why we're not taking any trades? Range is too big. Oh, just too big on the NASDAQ. Just too big on the Dow. Do you believe it? Look. Max range. Minute. Why is that? What's going on here? Hang on. What's going on here? So, yeah, ADRs are wrong, but 213 on a 254. So all the pre-market ranges are under, but literally under by out by a micro. So no pre-markets taken today. Post-markets might be getting in a bit big by the looks of things on the Dow. This is one of the reasons I'm thinking of dropping the Dow. I looked at my P&L. I showed my P&L this morning for both the new FTSE account and the US indices. And the Dow is the one that's losing the money at the moment. So NASDAQ done 2.5 grand, S&P done 1,600, 1,500, 271 down on the Dow. The Dow, I'm finding now I'm analyzing data properly, the Dow isn't actually as profitable as the other two because we get this. It either goes bang, straight to target and then sits around and does nothing, or it whips and then does nothing. So the Dow I'm finding very hard to make as profitable as the other two, because the other two, you get these lovely, obviously strong cash balances. The Dow seems to be very, very whippy, which when you look at it, you would think it's less likely to be that and more likely to be the NASDAQ, but it's not the Dow. And the same with the FTSE. The FTSE's been losing me money this month, and the DAX has been making me money. And same previous as well. Why we do analysis. Afternoon, everybody. I haven't said an afternoon to. Monkey, Virginia, Brian. Thinking mode hurts. Yep. Thinking mode does hurt. David, question. I'm looking for the indicator that shows my break-even price on position trades. So that's the support resistance propulsion. That one. So that shows your average price. Afternoon, Amy, Agosa. Alistair, afternoon. Raz, for opening range breakout, if I have leverage set on 500, how big should the position? 0.01? No, your risk, opening range breakout works on risk of your account. Your leverage has got nothing to do with anything. It's risk of your account balance. So here, for example, on the SIH, which is pretty much the same settings, I'm risking a percentage of my equity based on the range. Did anybody get on these pre-markets today? They're lovely. I missed them. Apart from the Dow. The Dow's not lovely, but the S&P and the... I haven't got my right instrument on that, but so if you took the pre-market today, depending on what you took, if you took the 15, 1.5 are there, 25, 40, 1.5 approaching 2 are there. I'm not going to get any trades on today, am I? These opening ranges are far too big, I think. $98. ADR doesn't seem right to me. It is right though. 50, 35, 25. Yeah, that's right. Why am I not getting any trades on? Something's gone wrong with the EA. Have I checked my magic? 789. Oh my god, I think I might have the same magic. No. No, that's right. So I've just set this up literally 5 minutes before. So I am trading, however, the S&P. Although I'm not in it yet. 97 on 100. 98 on a 70. So the range is too big on that one. And too small on that one. 213. That's not right. Something's gone wrong with the NASDAQ. Zero divide error. Yeah, that NASDAQ. I haven't got enough ADR data on the NASDAQ. Because I've literally just loaded the chart. It hasn't got enough ADR data because I've got a zero divide error. That's why I need to load data on that. I will do that. I still haven't decided whether I'm going to actually trade it anyway. Amy, MT5 bug is fixed. Is it? Oof, that was quick. They're going around, did they? Oh, 9 pages that forum got up to over the weekend with the bug. They're hanging around, did they? Uh, 4153 is the latest version now. Everything should be back to normal, right? So if you were on MT5, looks like they've fixed that problem, which is good. Pretty quick for a MQL5 bug. 48 hours. If that had landed on a Monday, though, still probably would have taken them 48 hours. But anybody that turned on their machines this morning had a shock. 4153 works fine, yeah, cool. Ed showed up with his tool belt, yeah. Ed 209, come to save the day. Right, so just waiting for a break. Doesn't look like anything is breaking at the moment. Someone will get some trouble, I think. No. If that were the case, they wouldn't introduce bugs, would they? Literally every update for MT5 virtually introduces some kind of bug. You won't know about most of them unless you're a developer that is on the developer forums. You won't know about most of them. It's only the ones that are like kind of mission critical that really break things, like the one we had last week, that really get any airtime, but they break it a lot. Stuff that you suddenly go, well, that doesn't quite work anymore, and it's stuff that you just wouldn't see if you're just using a product. But when you're developing a product, it's like you get compile errors, and you go, but that's the same thing I just compiled last week. I haven't changed anything. Why am I getting a compiler? And you go through, and it's like, what? And they just break stuff, and then they patch it and fix it. It's why you get loads of updates and nothing seems to change, because they're fixing stuff you don't know about. But this was a proper break. All EAs broke. Marketplace broke. All indicators broke. Everything broke. Proper broke. Right, let's have a look at where we're going today on these, potentially. So we're out at highs on everything. So NASDAQ, we're obviously way up at those highs. So if we are going long today, sky's the limit. If we're going short today, very difficult anywhere. That is your accumulation before the break on Friday. So 125 ADR. So there's literally nothing below on the NASDAQ. It's once this low's gone today, that's it. There's nothing to stop it. Your S&P, very much the same. On a long break, there's nothing to stop us to the upside. So we'll be just going wherever. To the downside, same sort of thing. We're looking at that accumulation before the break on Friday, which is just beyond ADR today. So again, nothing to stop a downside break, upside break, nothing to stop it. And the Dow is very much the same sort of thing. So we're out at new highs on the Dow. We're rallying. Upside, there's no resistance. So it's a case of ADR and then hopefully start to get tired. Downside, a little bit more tricky today because we've broken out on the Dow. So we've got an upside support there, and we've got the low of session on the way to ADR. So Dow downside is a little bit more tricky, but upside, if it decides to break it and it wants to go, there's literally nothing to stop it. So this week is earnings fortnight. So with the indices this week, we are going to get lots of divergence. Earnings fortnight, you get one index going flying, the other index is going south. They don't move in sync in any way, shape or form. They're always out of sync slightly, but on earnings fortnight, it's very, very noticeable. So you'll suddenly see the Dow take off and put in an ADR to the upside, and the NASDAQ will collapse and put in an ADR to the downside, and the S&P will just sit there and go sideways. Because you've got different stocks being announced pre-market and post-market every day. And these are all going to affect individual sectors. Like Netflix will affect the NASDAQ, but it's not going to affect anything else. However, Tesla will affect the NASDAQ. Yeah. Brain freeze. So Tesla will affect the NASDAQ, but Tesla will also affect the S&P and the Dow, because all the companies that supply Tesla parts, which will be across all sorts of sectors, if Tesla has massive earnings, they will all rally. If Tesla has a massive drop, they will all drop, because the companies that supply the individual top stocks will be affected by their prices. So you could see Tesla rallying, and all of a sudden Dow will rally, and you'll be like, well, that's got nothing to do with Tesla. It's got to do with the stocks within the Dow that supply them. So sector purchases you need to be aware of, and supplier purchases as well. So that is starting tomorrow with those. We've got 5 pre-markets tomorrow that will move it, and then we've got the post-markets tomorrow, or after-markets tomorrow, which will affect on Wednesday, and that goes all the way through to the end of this month and into February. So although we call it earnings fortnight, it does actually last a month, but the bulk of it starts this week and next week. And it's really the week after, so it should really be earnings 3 weeks, shouldn't it? But it doesn't sound as good as earnings fortnight, so that's what we use. So NASDAQ's out the lows and out the highs. So if you did take the 5-minute ORB today, you're either hedged if you're using a hedging strategy, or you are long, stopped out, short, and you are now in the money on the short. Dow, 5-minute ORB is long only. S&P hasn't broken yet. But obviously it's selling off with the NAS. This is a good example of the NAS, trading these two, although they are correlated, you get very, very different opens on them, which is kind of what I like, having these two, because they give you a clue as to what's happening, but they also will move differently. We haven't had a breakout on this, whereas on this one, we've had a double-edged whipsaw, haven't we? So it's quite nice having those two together, whereas the Dow is obviously just annoying me at the moment. Right, let's whiz over to FX and see what's going on over here. Not a lot ADR-wise still. I don't think I'm going to get to bank anything today. I don't think we're going to get a lot of movement today. As you can see, we're waiting for tomorrow's yen announcement, and then obviously we're waiting for news all week. So it's likely we're going to get one of those like sporadic types of weeks again while we're waiting for interest rate decisions. But just whizzing through all the pairs, there's nothing really moving. US dollar yen's sideways, US dollar Swiss totally sideways, US dollar CAD sideways, New Zealand US sideways, bit of movement down on the New Zealand yen, New Zealand Swiss whippy but sideways, New Zealand CAD sideways, slightly more bullish pound against the US dollar, sideways. There's not a lot to look at today. Nothing moving, is there? Euro seems a little weak. Not much. Obviously got the euro rate coming up at the end of the week on Thursday. CAD yen just had a reversal alert on the hourly off of a double top. So look for a retest drop on that one back down into propulsion. That is quite good for a short. Canadian rates on Thursday, yen tomorrow. So if you get into this today, could absolutely fly in either direction tomorrow. CAD Swiss just rejected Friday's high. Not gone anywhere though. It's back up again. It's all sideways. Everything sideways today. Almost banked that this morning. I was asleep, unfortunately, but by the time I'd woken up, we'd pulled back, but it was very, very close to a bank this morning. I would have, if I'd have actually seen that at 3 o'clock this morning or 4 o'clock this morning, I'd have banked that. So close to target, but it wasn't. There's nothing moving. It's just sideways. If there's any pairs you want to look at in any detail, let me know, but there's nothing to bank, nothing to look at, really. Afternoon, Kennelly. I've already said that, I think. Hopefully short on the NAS today and tomorrow to form a Wednesday low, ready for Wednesday news. Wednesday news? News is that? CAD. Lots of news on Wednesday. This week, you should never even think about trying to forecast where something's going to go, because you've no idea. It'll go wherever it wants to go. But this week specifically, you're going to find an awful lot of weird and wonderful movement because it's earnings kicking off. So it will go where the earnings take it. If NASDAQ stocks have amazing results, NASDAQ's going up. And it will be based on what goes where. The other thing you got to bear in mind with the NASDAQ, and all the stocks, but is that they're not all made equal. So each stock in each index has a weighting. Yeah, so you can see the weightings here for the NASDAQ. So Apple, Microsoft, And I'll bracket all of those together. But if you look at those 4 stocks, yeah, there's 100 stocks in the NASDAQ. So if you go like 9 plus 8.8 plus 5-ish, call it, plus 4.3 plus 4.3 plus 4. Yeah. So those top 6 stocks in the NASDAQ make up 35% of all of the movement. Yeah. So this is why it's so important, earnings fortnight. If Apple have good results, Microsoft have good results, and Amazon have good results, and then Nvidia tanks, Broadcom and Facebook push, yeah, they have the power, regardless of what this lot does. It's irrelevant what that lot does. These guys will move it. If Google reports bad earnings and these all report good earnings, NASDAQ's going up, because the Google weighting is only sort of 5% of the entire index. There's 35% movement in those top 6 stocks. It's the same with all of them. They've all got weighting. So this is why not all stocks are made equal, and why you'll find that suddenly Apple will take off, and any manufacturing that companies that supply Apple will also take off. And if those companies happen to be sitting in the S&P 500, the S&P 500 will go through the roof as well. But you could find some motor companies in the Dow that report bad earnings, and all of a sudden the Dow collapses at the same time. So it's very, even if you say, right, Apple's got good earnings, doesn't mean the NASDAQ's going up, because you could have 2 other stocks that outweigh their weighting drop, and all of a sudden you find the NASDAQ goes down. Everyone's like, well, hang on, Apple's had a good report. Why is NASDAQ dropping? There's all these others that make up the weightings. But you look at the weightings here. When you get down to 24, so a quarter of the way into the stocks, the weighting on these drops below 1%. So these are insignificant. PayPal reports good earnings. Who gives them monkeys? They are 0.5% of the movement on the NASDAQ. They could report double the earnings. It's not going to make any difference. It's the overall movement that you're looking at. So ideally, you want all sectors reporting good, all stocks, because then you know which way it's going. You know, this is why we find you get these massive rallies that go 200 ADR in like when we had 125 ADR on Friday, which is fairly small, but 125 ADR, not a bad move. When you get 5 stocks reporting pre-market, the next day that index will be 200 ADR, and everyone's like, why? You just do not try and short it. Do not try and sell it. If we get hedges next week, you want to pick, like, you know, a good distance. If the support is at 125 ADR, put it at 125 ADR. Don't go, oh, it looks like it might be bouncing here. Because if that thing's coming down, it's coming down to here. You've got to be very careful. Equally, there's massive opportunity to make very large sums of money. If you can get on something, shut your eyes, walk away, come back in an hour, you'll be loaded. So again, there's an argument for not having targets set at 2R and 5R. If the thing's going to take off and do 200 ADR, take a 10R. But you're not going to know until it's done it. So that's when the large balls come in handy, holding on to positions. The difficult bit. Morning, Matt. Pound CAD, it's rejected 1 hour ADR and reversal on the 5 minute. I haven't got an ADR hit on the pound CAD myself, but pound CAD's not anywhere near ADR yet, for me anyway. But if your charts have hit it, trade your charts, not mine. But yeah, you've had a reversal of that there, but not ADR. Missed ADR by 12 pips for me, which is about 15% of ADR, something like that. A nice reversal alert. Not going anywhere, pound CAD, at the moment. So if you're short on it, I target ADR today to the downside and look for targets down at those lows somewhere. Don't forget, ADR is a measurement and calculation of what your broker is reporting to you. It's the average daily range of movement that your chart experiences. So focus on what your chart says. If your chart is hit ADR, it's quite possibly because your broker, instead of putting in a candle like that at the open, you've got a wick down to there. Yeah, so if you've got a wick down to there, your ADR calculation will be different to mine. And if your broker regularly spreads you by more than I do, you need to pay attention to your ADR figure, because you're trading your broker and your broker's data, what they supply you. Which again is why it's not it's designed to tell us and show us roughly what the movement is of the instrument. It's not a when this hits this line you sell it. Yeah, it usually moves roughly about that range, which is why we wait for an indicator to tell us that there's sellers coming on board, i.e. you've had the reversal alert. Sellers are in charge. Get on board with them. Good short. I really wanted this pound yen to be down here by tomorrow morning because I wanted to lock some of this profit in. But doesn't look like I'm going to get the opportunity. I'm just worried about a whipsaw tomorrow and stopping me out of this aggressive drawdown control position. See, day's not over yet. We could have a 4-hour collapse. So what I really want to do is take that off and use at least half of that to do DD control on these lower positions, just to reduce the risk on the yen before the announcement tomorrow morning. But doesn't look like it's going to give me the opportunity today. Long on the S&P. So there's no point picking a target to the upside because it's obviously wherever the hell it wants to go, because we're at highs. So 2R is as good as 4R, is as good as 3R, is as good as 1R, is anything today, and it's as good as it is. So watch price action. We're getting up to there and we suddenly see bearish candlesticks coming in. Might want to close it out just in case it's going to sit down and wait for earnings tomorrow. But so far so good. Nice clean break. Anybody got any other pairs they want to look at? I haven't got anything else to discuss today because it's mere, isn't it? Look, pound yen kind of sums up the day. It's sideways at the minute. So we're not going to get any alerts, I don't think, today on anything. We've got no news catalyst to drive anything today. We're waiting for tomorrow's yen announcement. So unless anything dramatic happens somewhere else, it's just a case of waiting really until tomorrow. So I'll just be monitoring this. But if I find anything that gets bankable, I will bank it. But at the minute, it's just a case of sitting and waiting for everything. Which is always the way when there's no news. S&P's pulling back. So is the Dow. Load some ADR on this today. So little trick on MT4. Yeah, so that's as far as I can zoom out. Yeah. So if you look at where that's as far as it's allowing me to zoom out data wise. Let's just see how much data I got there. So if you just hit the home button on your keyboard over and over and over again, it will load in as much data as possible. And then you can do that on different time frames as well. Data error this morning for me on that one. The rest of them look okay. Back inside the opening range on the S&P. So hopefully this propulsion gap holds up. So there's your pre-market high. It's the Globex high this morning. Broke through that, retested, rebought. So hopefully this will hold and we can get a rally out of the highs. If not, we're going to rotation, which means it might get hedged. If it does get hedged to the downside today, that's as far as really I think we would ever get. But I don't think we'll get anywhere near that. So I will have to play it by ear today if we get hedged, but hopefully not. Nobody's got any other things to look at today. I'm not surprised because nothing's moving. So I haven't really got anything else to discuss. So I might leave it there today. Very short stream, isn't it? Look at that, half an hour. Just shows you how crap the market is today, doesn't it? There's nothing to talk about. We're not moving anywhere. I've got my new position trading EA working, by the way. It's coming together. Makes money. It's only taking ones at the moment. It's just testing, but and got some magic buttons we can press on it as well. Look, it's going to do manual as well. It's going to be good. It's not a bad little P&L, is it? To start off. How did your DAX work out? Out of the hedge this morning. So got out. I covered it when I came in, so you probably won't hear it at the beginning, but we covered the gap fill. And then we pushed down, rejected, pushed down, rejected again. So basically I got out on this bullish engulfing. Well, I saw the bullish engulfing double bottom, exited the shorts. Then we pulled down, triple bottom, bounce. And then I got out literally just as I came on stream. But the original target I had was down at... it was down about there. Just before ADR, basically. I was looking to get out somewhere down here. But we started to bounce, look. That level. They're buying up yesterday's Friday's close basically is what they're buying up at the moment. And the same with the FTSE. So I got out on that bullish engulfing. I mean, this candle here was for me the key today. Both indices at the same time suddenly had a big buy order come in off of the close of the previous day on the DAX. And this target here, look, that was my target today, wasn't it? Was down, it was literally, it's been deleted because it deletes those when you get out. So my target, I said in the live room this morning, was kind of just here, wasn't it? On these lows. And it wicked into it and then popped. So I was out and then straight out within about 20 minutes. So yeah, good. Wow. I mean, for hedges, good exits, very clean, easy today. I was about to ask that new EA you were talking about, yeah. That's the EA you had abandoned? No. No, this is the new position trading EA that I'm building. So this is a simplified version of the market reversal alerts EA. Getting rid of all the crap, basically. it's what I wanted to build. Like I said before, this is what I'm building is what I wanted to build, what I want, not what everybody else wants. So I'm just building it basically for me. It's all it is what I want to be able to do and see is so basically from a magic number perspective, it automatically calculates a magic number based on the pair. So no one has to worry about magic numbers anymore. This is magic number 47 because it's the euro US dollar. It will always be magic number 47 because it's the euro US dollar. That's it. If you take a manual trade, the EA knows you've taken a manual trade. If you take it with these buttons, important. So what I want to be able to do is when price rallies up to here and I see a triple top, I want to be able to go short. If RSI is not extended, I like the look of this. I fancy this short. It's not a position trade with the H1M5 mean reversion strategy. It's just a trade. I like the look of it, support and resistance. So I want to be able to sell it or put a sell stop in, and that will be placed with the magic number. So the EA, when it trades with those buttons, a little bit like the Price Action Toolkit, yeah, it will store the highest sell price in this case, and in this case, obviously the next short for position trading. So because I've gone sell here, look, that's where the next short position is, which is 3/4 of an ADR away from where the entry was. If I took a manual trade, the EA takes over. So you're allowed to trade on it manually as well. But the thing that's key for me, yeah, and any of you that have done any back testing on the market reversal alert CA will know this. Look at the speed on the 5-minute time frame compared to the market reversal alert CA. It's usable as a backtesting tool because it hasn't got 35,000 lines of code in it, which is what that has. That sounds unbelievable, doesn't it? Well, that's what it grew into. So this is what this does. So it's a simple, much simpler version of, it's not the market reversal alert CA. It has nothing to do with market structure, market reversal alerts at all. It's a position trading here. It's for position trading. And obviously you can position trade in a number of ways. You can use a number of indicators to position trade. You don't need to use the market reversal alert CA. That indicator, that's the signal indicator I prefer. However, it's just a way of getting into the market. So this is, again, the market reversal alerts indicator has an awful lot of logic and calculation going into it. That's removed. So it speeds everything up dramatically. There's lots of other indicators you can use to mimic a similar behavior. Not the same. It was still, it's not a break of structure, so it's not as good. But who's to say it's good? It is what it is, isn't it? When you take a trade. So, but it also shows you, where am I getting in next? So, it's a visual, like, do not get in there. And the beauty of this is as well, you leave this running on your chart, you can change time, you can change instruments on this, because what it will do is it will automatically change the magic number and automatically recalculate where the positions are, redraw the lines, everything. So it's usable as an everyday tool. I will be using it every day. It will also be running on a VPS, but I can manually intervene with it. It's going to be great. Well, I think it's going to be great anyway. But yeah. But it's nothing to do with that hedging strategy at all. And look, it got me out there with a profit. I had 3 longs and 1 short, and it went, you know what? You got $250 in profit. Let's get that in our pocket, shall we? And look, there's a short that worked. Let's get that in our pocket as well. Jesus, I found the Holy Grail, everybody. It's right there. I'm just going to let that run just for fun. I haven't tested this at all. It's looking interesting as a strategy. Brian, I gave up today. PC crashed again at open. That's not good. You need to get a different PC, Brian. This is the most important thing you've got to trade with, your PC. If it breaks, get a new one. It will save you money. Up my internet speed, thinking the data hit was the open. Guessing not. No. Windows. So I have this thing, right? Whenever Windows or my PC starts to throw a wobbly, rather than spend days looking for the reason and trying to fix it, I just buy a new one. Or I reinstall Windows. Because every time my PC's ever gone wrong, it's either been a hard drive failure or a Windows update. Windows updates are notoriously difficult to roll back. If you can roll it back, fine. If you can't roll it back, just reinstall Windows and just, yes, you're going to have to put a load of new software on. It's going to be a pain in the ass to do it, but it's just so much easier than trying to fix a problem in Windows, because it's just not your friend, is it? And you need the most important tool in your toolbox. It's the only tool in your toolbox. CAD Swiss 4-hour overbought RSI. No such thing as overbought and oversold in Forex. There is no intrinsic value. It's an exchange rate. You can't buy it, but it's extended on the 4-hour. I can't change time frame now because this is taken over my life. There we go. ADR on pound Swiss. Yeah, so that is extended. Five-minute reversal, waiting to hit half ADR target, but it's reversal to buy. And did you think it's logic to wait on short for target? What? Sorry, I don't understand. 4-hour overbought RSI, and I'm short on it. 5-minute reversal and waiting to hit half ADR target, but it's reversal to buy. And did you think it's logic to wait on a short for target? Read it twice now, still don't understand. No, sorry, I don't get you. Please tell me this one will backtest like the wind. Yeah, there you go. So far. I mean, I've got a lot of logic to put in there yet, but not, yeah, I mean, compared to the market reversal alerts EA, yes, it will backtest like the wind. That's not bad. Made $3,000 while I've been sitting here watching this. Look. Good, eh? Doesn't use those stop loss things that lose your money. That's why. Sorry. Just looking at the logic, thinking, why is that taking that trade? I need to put some logging in. Oh, I had it set up to half an ADR, didn't I? Yes, of course I did. That's right. This isn't how I would normally do it, because I would normally have quite higher spacing, but I was testing. I just remembered why it's getting in at half an ADR, not 3/4, because I told it to. It does as it says on the tin. Afternoon novelty. Well, that just asked my question, or answered your question, yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you look at the speed of that, as we've just seen, we're up in January now. If I do the market reversal alert CA, just run that on the 5-minute chart on full speed. A little bit different, isn't it? Like a lot. And I can speed it up. I haven't even optimized it yet, so I can also speed it up. I haven't even tested optimization on it yet at all. Not finished though. by a long shot. Nice, sounds good. Best work tends to be done when there's no customer pressure. Yep, exactly. I've learnt my lesson there, which is why I keep saying people no, which annoys them. It's like, can you change this? No. Why? Because I don't need it. And if you need it, go and build it. If you don't need it, I don't need it. Very fond of SIH due to the minimalist setup. Yeah. Exactly. Simple. Keep it simple. Most strategies that work are the simple ones. So this EA will never become public. Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you want it, but just I will probably make it public. But I'll have to do a load of strategy stuff for it because I want it to do different things. To the market reversal alerts EA, an indicator is very slow from a confirmation perspective. What I'm trying to do is speed up the entry criteria, but also not be as restrictive on the entry criteria. I want to be able to say, so what I would ideally like is if this or this is hit rather than this and this and this, which is how the market reversal alert EA works at the moment. We have a reversal alert which has triggered, but that condition isn't quite met, but that one is and that one is. So I want to be able to use and rather than ors. And vice versa, really. But I also want more ways to get in. So, as you know, I'm trading 3 strategies now live as opposed to just trading the one to diversify it. But I want to trade support resistance bounces, for example, as well. But I want to be able to make a decision to take a support and resistance bounce trade, and I want the EA to manage that trade for me. At the moment, with the market reversal alerts EA, I have to put the MRA EA onto a chart when I get a support and resistance bounce, like here, for example, at the CAD Swiss. It's a perfect example. Look. So we got a lovely little resistance area coming up. Yeah. So we got this area coming up. Now, for me to get a reversal alert, I will get in there. If this hits this and spikes above it and puts in a whacking great hammer, I want to get in there. I don't want to wait for a confirmation. If I'm wrong, that's on me. Fine. There will be a reversal alert on a lower time frame, probably. But the problem we know about is sometimes the reversal alert happens here, whereas that's half an ADR of movement. We've missed that. So I want more than one way to get in. I want to say, if this has happened and that's happened, get me in. And if that happens, excellent, that's confirmation. Now we can use that trigger to say, right, put the stops to break even because we've now moved down. We've got a confirmation of it. Now put break even. So I want to make something that's a little bit more versatile and uses manual trading because I see loads of opportunities coming up and I don't take them because it's not part of the strategy. So I kind of want a product I can just go back, just get in. Because trading is discretionary. I was talking to somebody this morning about discretionary trading, and he has a problem with discretionary trading. He doesn't think he's got a problem with discretionary trading, but his problem is actually just discretionary trading. He doesn't have the confidence to do it. And discretionary trading is just, for me, about where am I going to get out or where am I going to get in or what am I going to do? There is no right or wrong about it. You have to relax into it. It's like this morning's DAX trade. I got out because there was a whacking great bullish engulfing coming in. So that was my discretion. I'd seen that and that was my choice to get out and it worked beautifully. Sometimes it might not work beautifully, but that's down to you. But there's no right or wrongs with it. And for me, you've got to be able to be adaptive. And at the moment, the market reversal alerts EA is too restrictive, which is why I made the SIH EA. You know, you can adjust targets on it very easily and you can close positions out and then it will take over for you. I want something that can take over from you. rather than you be reliant on doing something in a complex way. So I might build a exposure system into it as well, but I'm not as keen on that. Now I'm trading everything because I'm finding it nice trading everything. So, which indicators do I use to get in? Same stuff. You can use anything, doesn't matter. Whatever. Bollinger Bands, moving average, crossovers, price action. This is the thing. There is no right and wrong, is there? So, like I said, with this CAD Swiss, let's say this line here, right? If there's a 9 moving average, for example, or a 5 moving average, or any kind of moving average coming up, yeah, and it does that, yeah, and then you suddenly get that, I want to take it. It's bearish. The reverse alert's happening there, but I want to get in there because it's a resistance bounce. But that could also be a hammer or a bearish engulfing or whatever you want. It could be that it's pushed up really hard, got outside of a Bollinger Band and closed back inside the Bollinger Band. Take that. Doesn't matter how you get in, does it? It's irrelevant. All a signal is, and if you can use any, you could use the 9 MA, you could use EMA, you could use the 9 SMA, you could use the 10, you could use the 12, you could use the 6, 5, whatever you want to use. You could use a median if you like, or a close. Doesn't matter. None of them are right. None of them are wrong. When you just need a way to get into the market. So I need a way to get into the market. When I get in, I'll deal with it later. Structure breaks are fantastic because when you got that confirmation, you know damn well that they're on your side. What I'm trying to do is I'm finding I preempt the indicator, and it's not a good thing all the time. So I'm looking at this, watching this bounce, and I'm thinking that's just going to pull back and give us a reverse alert. Get in there. But that's because I've seen it a million times playing out. So I want to be able to get in quicker. And it's down to me. Nobody does what anybody else does. That's just what I want to be able to do. And I need a tool to be able to do this with so that I can grab that and stop missing these opportunities where we're waiting for a reverse alert to happen and I'm missing the exit on a reversal because the reverse alert got me in a third of an ADR after I thought that looks like that's coming down anyway, but we'll wait. I just want to get in a bit quicker. See what I mean? But that's more, I wouldn't call it skillful, but more discretionary based on experience than waiting for a structure. Yeah. So it's more of a discretionary based thing. And it might be the case of the, and this is probably what I will find I will do, is I will forget about entry triggers and I will just do everything off that button and then let the EA do it for me. So, you know, we'll be scanning through the charts. And this is something I do often. You know, when we're scanning through charts, I'll be going through and looking at things and going, cool, look at that lovely rejection up at the highs there. If that breaks down through there, that'd be a really good short. There's a button on the EA, pending order. So I'll hit that button and go, I'll stick a pending order in there. If it hasn't triggered by the end of the day, cancel the pending off for me. So I'll just be able to go like that, walk away, forget about it. If that trade idea I just saw flying past triggers an entry, great. If it doesn't, the EA will shut it out and go, no, and I'll come back tomorrow and go, didn't get on that. I probably won't even look at it and go, oh, we didn't get on the Aussie Swiss because it will have been deleted and I'll have completely forgotten about it. But if I do get into it, it will be logged as a pending sell. And I'll go, right, why did I take that pending sell as double top? Just more dynamic. So that's just what I want to be able to do, which is what I'm building. Lovely double bottom look. So you got reversal alert, retest here. So if I missed that and we've pulled back to a double bottom, pending order above that high, when we get up to there, break even it. Just take more opportunities. And if it doesn't work out, fine. I'm just going to get in a bit too early. But that's not the H1M5 mean reversion strategy, is it? It's position trading. The H1M5 mean reversion strategy works on that move. So I'm not playing here bank exhaustion. I'm playing bank levels, support resistance. That's all I'm doing. But I need a tool to do it so that the EA can take over, which is what I want to build. I am building. Something just a little bit more flexible. If you will use this, will you still add your other indicators to your charts? Yeah, definitely. Nothing's going to change with that. I'm long on the euro pound here. Target's up there. It's not this position trading EA. There's absolutely no TPs and stop losses at all in it. Where the hell's it gone? Yeah, it doesn't. There is no TP. There is no stop loss. So, I mean, brilliant. Right. I've got a setting in here that automatically gets me out at $250 profit, which is, but I will be setting TPs at propulsion gaps. There isn't one there. There is no propulsion gap there, but there was a propulsion gap there. Filled. But, so that's gone long, right? That's my target. Oh, sorry. Well, that's gone short. But let's say we went long. For example, I would put a manual target on still. I'm still going to do manual targeting. But equally, if I'm asleep and the thing's gone $250 in my favor, get out. Take the money while I'm asleep. Why not? But again, something you can turn on and off. Flexible. Yeah. Everyone's going to ask me for a set file for it, and it's not that sort of thing. It's not going to be that. Well, this set file works absolutely beautifully, doesn't it? Basically, this is what I mean. This is position trading. This is not using H1M5. It's not using ADR reversals. It's not using anything. It's just getting in and waiting for the market to move and then getting out if the market moves. If it doesn't go our way, we get in a bit more. There's literally no logic here that's saying do anything clever based on any type of strategy. At the moment, this EA is just taking trades, but using the methodology of position trading rather than stop loss. And it's accidentally making $3,000. Not hard, is it, to make money if you just let the market do what it wants to do? So if you switch between 3 to 4 pairs, it will automatically keep track on a different magic number. Yeah. So if I don't know what magic numbers I've got running on this account. On. So I just want to see what the S&P is doing. We're not going anywhere this morning or today. The Dow's nicely broken, but it's not even got to 1R on the post-market range yet, and the NASDAQ hasn't either, so nothing's going anywhere. Magics am I using? 19 and 20. 50. Yeah, I can't stick. I was going to stick it on a chart and show you basically, but I can't, because if I stick this on there, it's going to start using those magic numbers because the magic numbers are dynamic. So all it does, very simply, this is only going to work in Forex as well. So again, it doesn't work on gold. No, it doesn't work on gold. Works in Forex. It's a Forex position trading EA. If you want to trade gold with it, it doesn't work. So what it does is basically with the first pair, it chooses a number from 10 to 70. With the second pair, cross, it chooses a number from 1 to 7. So it goes from 11 to 77. So if base currency is euro, use 40. If cross currency is US dollar, use 7. 40 plus 7 equals 47 is your magic number. There cannot be two numbers the same because it uses 10 increments at the top and it uses 1 increments at the bottom. So therefore you can never have a crossover in magic numbers. So you could just stick this on any instrument and it will go, I am 47. What trades have I got on? Where's the last trade? What's the profit? Where are we? It just does it all. It knows where it is, which is not what the market reversal alerts EA does it? Because it has to use global variables and all that sort of stuff. So just clever, just cleverer. But I can't show you because if I stick it on here, it's going to start managing whatever euro pound trades I've got open with a different magic number from a different EA running. So it's just not, I can't do it. I'll see if I can open another account. I've got to test all this as well. So yeah, it might blow up. If you switch between 3, 4 pairs, yeah, I've just answered that. What's the logic? Position trading. Works better on Windows Abacus. Yeah, Windows 7. That's probably what you're running, Brian. That's why your computer's dying, because you're running on Windows 7. Oh my God, look at this S&P. Stuck fast at the moment. Amy, it's exactly what I trade manually on prop account. Support, resistance, position trading. Yeah, only trade it on 2 pairs with high risk. Might find this very useful then. The idea is basically you have a VPS running and you place the EA on every pair on the VPS, exactly the same as you do. So you have 28 pairs running on your VPS, yeah, with the EA on it. And you can set it up so that it, if you wanted to, you could set it up so that it takes no trades itself. And then you can have the EA running on your platform, on your computer, flicking through charts and you go, I like the look of that, short. Now the EA running on your VPS will go, I've just taken a short trade. Right, next time it moves up there, we're going to scale into this trade for him. So I can just go, oh, I like the look of that, short. And the EA will take over. That's what or I can set the EA to go, if H1M5 is triggered, take that as well. So it will trade all my strategies using RSI and ADR automatically if I want it to. But it will also allow me to just go, God, look at that. I fancy that short. Which is what you want to do, isn't it? You want to be dynamic. You watch me get myself into absolute hideous trouble because I'm taking loads of trades which are nowhere near RSI extensions and it pushes for 4 weeks ahead of me, against me. The only thing I dislike about the MRA is that some positions have an alert that is miles away or just way too big to activate. Yeah. That is the problem with it. It's not a problem. It's a good thing. The vast majority of the time. Look at these. I mean, it's a beautiful reversal. It's a beautiful reversal underway. But you look at some of them, and you know, look. So let's say that candle does that, and then the next candle does that. That is your short. That's what you've missed. Look. It's not a bad thing because the last batch of sellers was here. So what we're saying is, don't get me in until these sellers are back in control. They're not in control until the last time they tried to sell, they took over. But there's an argument for taking that 3-bar short there. Pushed up, pushed down, didn't quite manage to crack it, pushed up again. So that becomes a reversal, doesn't it? So that, again, but these are all, you know, that is a good reversal. Break of that candle is also a good reversal. If you see a 3-bar reversal, yeah, I like them. I love them. But the market reversal alerts EA, if the support rectangle's down here somewhere, that's where you're getting in. I would go, cool, look at that. And it's at resistance. That's a beautiful short. RSI is nowhere near extended, but we're up at the 60 level. So worst case scenario, I might be in 1 or 2 positions early, but looks good, doesn't it? I want to be able to hit the button on it. kind of need another account. I will probably leave H1M5 running and use another account for this when I do it, because I'll want to be, you know, taking my own trades. But this is what I do on prop. So, well, what I did on prop. So I haven't traded prop for ages. And what Amy does on prop. I'll buy it if you put it up in the store. Big fan of your tools and systems. Yeah. It's no, you know, it's like I say, it's to do with position trading methodology. Hedged on the S&P. It's a whippy mess today, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, it's just position trading. It's just I want to be more dynamic with getting in. Less complicated. People get really confused by the market reversal alerts EA with all of its settings. They also get confused by the way that the market reversal alerts EA or the market reversal alerts indicator works. Everybody knows what a moving average cross is. Everybody knows what a bearish engulfing is. So I'm just trying to simplify it for the people that think this is all about market structure. It's not. It's about position trading. Market structure is a big part of it, but position trading can be done with a Bollinger Band and nothing else. It's just a way of getting into the market. So I'm just trying to bring it way down into simple terms. Somebody was saying this morning that there was a guy on Nick Sean's channel who's been interviewed, and he's position trading support resistance levels, as I do. And, you know, nothing wrong with that. Scale in nicely after you get into a trade. Nothing wrong with that at all. But you need a thing to do it. You need this is why I'm calling it a position trading EA, because it is a just a position. It manages your position. However you press that button, however you get in, whatever system or strategy you're using is irrelevant. What you need to do after you press the button is has something that is going to manage that position in the future for you. Scale, which is what it does. It just literally says, I'm in, where's the next level I should be getting in, and what do you want me to use when we get there? There'll be multiple things to use. Does set pending orders on the daily, weekly, monthly lines? Yeah. That's what you're saying you do, is it, Amy? Yeah. This is what, I mean, again, you know, this indicator, support resistance propulsion indicator, shows you where the banks and institutions did exactly that. Where did they set their orders? Those levels. Yeah, they set an order to sell there. It triggered. When we got there, it triggered again. We just got to a monthly level. They bought from. We broke through it. They sold from it. Then they sold from it again. And then they sold from it again. Mucked around. They bought from it again. Then we broke through it. Now we've hit it again and they're selling from it again. No idea which way it's going to go. And it doesn't matter, does it? What you need is a reason to get into the market. Now, if that does that, fantastic. I'll take my $250 or whatever with the EA. If it goes up there, the thing will just move my price for me until they decide to do that. The danger with it, obviously, with support and resistance is if you get into a support and resistance bounce when the market has been going sideways, i.e. range bound, if that breakout turns into a 4-week trend, you're squished. If you'd have waited for the relative strength to show you that that trend was underway, you're not going to get as squished. Yeah, there's never a right or a wrong. It's going to be one or the other, isn't it? You've no idea whether what is going to go into drawdown, what is going to go your way. Need a reason. This would be very useful, yeah. Cyborg EA, human and machine mix. That's a good name, Mark. Cyborg position trader. No, I'm not calling it that. Keep it simple. I don't want to come up with stupid names for stuff. You'll notice from my products, everything that I do is super simple. Market reversal alerts indicator. What does it do? Show you when the market's reversal. When there's a market reversal, it alerts you to it. ADR reversal indicator. It shows you when ADR has been hit and it's reversing. RSI and TDR alert dashboard. It tells you when the RSI and the TDI are extended and it gives you an alert. Support, resistance, propulsion. It shows you where the support and resistance levels are and propulsion gaps. Symmetrical triangle indicator. It's not called the pointy stick could go north or south indicator, Cyborg EA. It's called the symmetrical triangle indicator because it does symmetrical triangles. Multi-time frame MTF stochastics. I could have called that one all sorts of things. I won't mention them because it's a terrible indicator. Don't buy it. But I could have called it the MTF wiggly worm, because that's basically what it is. It shows you multiple time frames and it draws worms on the chart. People would buy it if I called it the MTF wiggly worm and I put a lovely picture of a worm with a bazooka on it. I'd sell a hell of a lot of those. But that's not what I'm about, is it? But I do like the idea of a cyborg EA. That sounds good. It is basically what it is. It's mixing you with automation. So far, yes, I do the 1 minute time frame and take small scalps. Yeah. Position trading trade manager? No, doesn't do that. Just a position trading EA. Literally, it's just that. Least fun with Agimat. Yeah. Agimat. I mean, where do you even come up with names like this? Where do they come up with these names? Agimat. What's it mean? Obviously, it must mean something, I guess. It means don't buy it. But, anyway, we won't talk about that. Nothing wrong with Dennis's stuff. Dennis is a really nice guy. Right. And I mean that. I'm not being sarcastic. He's good. He's very helpful, Dennis. I just can't get on with his products. We've talked about it before. Anyway, so shorts. This is going to be a hedge today. So S&P, this downside today is either the close from Friday, and we're going to respect it and bounce. If it breaks below Friday's close, there's nothing I can see until we get down here and here, which means we've got to do 125% ADR drop. It's much more likely that we're waiting for earnings tomorrow and we're going to do something like this. So I'm just going to leave targets in place today at ADR to the upside. If we can get a rally up to ADR, I'll get out. If we push down just beyond ADR, we'd be looking for something to give the market a bit of a pop. We've got a propulsion gap there, which was that accumulation break of the double or triple top, if you like. So that propulsion gap to the downside, you'll probably find we get some resistance support down there, which is kind of a 38 to 50% retracement. Other than that, there's not a lot you can do with the S&P today. It's just unfortunate. It's been one of those not going anywhere sessions, isn't it? It's very, very close to not even getting a trigger today. It just got in. These big ones, not good to take. Wanted the pre-market today. That was the trade on both, really. Anyway, I was going ages ago, wasn't I? Got talking. So just going to monitor everything today. As I said, there's nothing really bankable at the moment. Everything's total sideways at the minute. So just going to watch this today. So yen exposure, if you've got it, I've got a double long on the yen. So I'm hoping for bullishness on the yen, which obviously will drop everything against the yen tomorrow morning. So sometime tomorrow, and it is very tentative when we get these figures. Sometimes it's 1:30 in the morning, sometimes it's 4 o'clock in the morning, but sometime before I get up tomorrow, that's all going to have hit. So the yen will have moved. So fingers crossed. The press conference comes out bullish. The monetary policy statement leans towards interest rates changing for the first time in 7 years. If that is the case, we'll obviously get a bit of a rally on the yen. If we don't get that kind of indication, it's difficult to tell what will happen with it. But we have had a very, very weak yen. Therefore, market could well be looking for an opportunity to just get out of some of this position. So there's a good chance of us getting down there. So for me, I've got fairly decent targets on, as you can see. We're not going to get down to there unless they change the interest rates or something ridiculous, which they're very unlikely to do. But I've got partials coming off there. And then tomorrow morning, if we've triggered those, I'll do some DD control on this. The only other yen exposure I've got is my US dollar yen. And it's very similar with this one. I've got this position I'm taking off here. And then if it's getting further down, I'll be doing some DD control. But ultimately, I'm expecting some yen strength long term. So I'm trying to get out. But from where we are at the moment, or where we will be tomorrow, assuming we're somewhere around here, ADR is going to be 126. So ADR is going to be pretty much where my average line is. So what I might do is actually just move it down just on top of that resistance, which gets me out of that position with a nice profit. And then tomorrow morning, wherever we are, I can make a decision on DD control from these old ones down here. But if it's gone up, obviously, we're dealing with it. We'll see. But that's your overnight news. So you need to be aware of that. And then that's it tomorrow. We've got Richmond in the afternoon, but nothing until CPI. So again, it's a no news day tomorrow. After that's hit, we've got nothing to look at. Got a bit of yen on it. It's all the same yen, isn't it? It's ADR reversals. It's the same. Hedging exposure is the same as well. So yeah, I really want a long yen tomorrow. Fingers crossed. March contract showing ATH for NAS around 17,700. I mean, that's not far away at all, is it? It's 175 ADR. So that you can hit that in a day. We hit 125 on Friday, so easily you could hit that. Obviously, we've got earnings coming out. So first batch of NASDAQ earnings is tomorrow. We've got AMD tomorrow. Aftermarket, that is. So we've got decent NASDAQ earnings tomorrow. We've got, so this is pre-market. So this comes out before the market opens. There's no NASDAQ pre-market, but we've got NASDAQ aftermarket. It's pretty much all NASDAQ aftermarket. So Wednesday will be the big move day for the NASDAQ. So could well drive for that on Wednesday. Certainly not at the moment, is it? Find out. Right, I'll leave it there. Anything you need, let me know. I'll be in Telegram. Other than that, back tomorrow, 7:50, same time, and 2:20 in the afternoon for the US session. And we'll see tomorrow what's happened with the yen. But that's it, really, for today. We're waiting for stuff to happen. Sideways again. All right, have a good one. Anything you need, let me know. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the next one. Have a good day.